81. What kind of man would put a known criminal in front of a larger branch of government? In addition to the average voter, of course. Terry Pratchett, 1948-2015, British writer. 82. Envy is the basis of democracy. Bertrand Russell, 1872-1970, British philosopher. 83. I do not say that democracy has been more pernicious in general, and in the long term, than the monarchy or the aristocracy. Democracy has never been and can never be as enduring as the aristocracy or the monarchy, but while it lasts, it is bloodier than any of them. Remember, democracy never lasts too long. It is quickly wasted, exhausted, and murders itself. There was never a democracy that did not commit suicide. It is in vain to say that democracy is less vain, less proud, less selfish, less ambitious or less avaricious than aristocracy or monarchy. It is not true, in fact, and nowhere in history does it appear like that. These passions are the same in all men, under all forms of simple government, and when they are unleashed, they produce the same effects of fraud, violence and cruelty. When there are clear prospects before vanity, pride, greed or ambition, to achieve easy gratification, it is difficult for the most thoughtful philosophers and the most conscious moralists to resist temptation. Individuals have been able to conquer themselves. The nations and the great groups of men, never. John Adams, 1735-1826, second President of the United States. 84. One man, one vote, combined with unrestricted access to government. Democracy means that each person and his or her personal property is within the reach of, and is at the mercy of, all others, a tragedy of the commons. Hans-Hermann Hopp, 1949. German philosopher. 85. Democracy does not appear once as much in the Declaration of Independence of the United States as in its Constitution. Anonymous. 86. You propose to establish a social order based on the following principles: that you are incompetent to manage your own life, but competent to manage the lives of others; that you are unable to exist in freedom, but fit to become an omnipotent ruler; that you are incapable of making a living using your own intelligence, but capable of judging politicians and voting for them to occupy positions of total power over arts you have never seen, about sciences you have never studied, about achievements of those who have not they have knowledge, about the gigantic industries in which you, by your own definition of capacity, would be unable to successfully perform the job of assistant greaser. Ayn Rand, 1905-1962, American philosopher. 87. The bigger the crowd, the harder the test. In small areas, before small electorates, a first-class man occasionally makes his way, drawing even the crowd with the strength of his personality. But when the field is national, and the fight must be done mainly to second or third hand, and the strength of the personality cannot be felt with such alacrity, then all the bets are in favor of the man who is, intrinsically, the most twisted and mediocre. The man who can more easily and skillfully disseminate the notion that his mind is virtually empty. The presidency tends, year after year, to go to those men. While democracy is being perfected, the position represents, increasingly closer, the inner soul of its people. We move towards an elevated ideal. In some great and glorious day the simple people of the country will at last reach the desire of their heart, and the White House will be adorned by a complete idiot. H. L. Mencken, 1880-1956, American journalist. 88. It is a tempting vice of democracies to replace the law with public opinion. This is the usual way in which masses of men exhibit their tyranny. James Fenimore Cooper, 1789-1851, American novelist. 89. The death of democracy probably does not come from an ambush murder. It will be a slow extinction due to apathy, indifference and malnutrition. Robert Hutchins, 1899-1977, American educator. 90. There is no virtue in the compulsory charity of government, and there is no virtue in promoting it. A politician who presents himself as considerate and sensitive because he wants to expand government charity programs is simply saying he is willing to do good with other people's money. Well, who does not? And a voter who is proud to support these programs is telling us that he will do good with his own money, if they put a gun to his head. P. J. O'Rourke, 1947. American journalist.